Hey there and welcome to my channel. It's me. And today, we're going to do 20 things you might not have known about ILoveLucy. ILoveLucy is one of those classic sitcoms that never gets old. The show was way ahead of its time and tackled all sorts of issues that were taboo at the time. Even though it was a comedy, they didn't shy away from showing real-life situations like divorce and mental health problems. Lucy and Lucy Ricardo were arguably one of the first interracial couples on TV. Although this wasn't really talked about on the show, there were many people back then who found their relationship controversial. Now, before we get into the list, please make sure to leave a thumbs up on this video and click the subscribe button so you can be reminded about all the wonderful stories from Hollywood's golden age. Let's get started. No, 20. Lucille Ball was heavily influenced by her mother. Lucille Ball was raised by her mother, who she said was the strongest influence on her personality. She learned from the best how to be funny because her mother was a natural comedian herself. Number 19. Lucy was actually married twice. That's right. Before marrying Desi Arnaz, Lucille Ball was married to a man named Richie. Their marriage lasted less than 2 years and ended in divorce. 18. Desi Arnaz was a ladies' man. Desi Arnaz was considered quite the ladies' man during his time on the show. But his wife and co-star, Lucille Ball, was completely unfazed by it. She once said, "Desi has never been so much trouble to me as a husband as he has been as a publicity asset." Number 17. Lucille Ball did most of her own stunts. Lucille Ball was a very daring woman and she wasn't afraid to perform dangerous stunts. In fact, she insisted on doing all her own stunts on the show, which probably saved the production company a lot of money. No. 16. ILoveLucy was not the first show that Lucy and Ricky appeared on. Lucy and Ricky first appeared on a radio show together called My Favorite Husband. The show was a hit and ran for 4 seasons. Number 15. Lucille Ball was very involved in every aspect of the show. Lucille Ball was not just an actress on the show, she was also one of its producers. She had complete control over the scripts and made sure that they were as good as they could be. Number 14. Desi Arnaz was a bandleader as well as an actor. Desi Arnaz was born in Cuba and was a professional musician before he came to the United States. He led his own band for several years before landing a role in ILoveLucy. No. 13. Ricky and Fred were supposed to be Cuban, but William Frawley didn't look Hispanic enough. When ILoveLucy was being developed, it was intended to be a show about 2 Cuban musicians who live in New York City. However, when William Frawley was cast as Fred Mertz, the show's setting was changed to a more generic American neighborhood. No. 12. Vivian Vance was almost not cast as Ethel because she was too tall. Vivian Vance was 5'11", which was considered too tall for a woman at the time. However, she was eventually cast in the role and became one of the most beloved actresses on the show. Number 11. ILoveLucy was filmed in black and white, even though color television had been invented. Color television was invented in 1928. But it wasn't until 1950 for that color TVs began to be marketed to consumers. ILoveLucy was filmed in black and white because it was simply too expensive to film in color. No. 10. The Mertz's apartment was used as a set dressing for other shows. The set for the Mertz's apartment was actually built on a soundstage at Desi Studios. This meant that the set was only about 15 feet wide, which forced the actors to move around carefully so as not to bump into each other or the camera. Because of the small space, the set was often used as a backdrop for other shows that were filmed at Desi, such as The Untouchables. No. 9. All the actors on the show were paid the same amount. All the actors on the show were paid $1,000 per week, regardless of their experience or status. This was unheard of at the time, and it made ILoveLucy one of the most attractive sitcoms to work on. No. 8. The Ricardos and the Mertzes lived in separate apartments. Although the sets for the Ricardos and the Mertz's apartments were often used interchangeably. The two apartments were actually located in different buildings. The Ricardos lived in an apartment building in the heart of Manhattan, while the Mertz's lived in a brownstone in Brooklyn. Number 7. All the mail for the show was sent to Lucy's house. Fans of the show would often send letters and gifts to the cast members, and most of the mail was sent to Lucille Ball's house. This caused quite a commotion among the staff, as they would often receive hundreds of pieces of mail addressed to the show. No. 6. The audience for ILoveLucy was incredibly diverse. ILoveLucy was one of the most popular shows on television, and its audience was incredibly diverse. The show was watched by people of all ages, races, and social classes. Number 5. Lucille Ball was very active in the Screen Actors Guild. Lucille Ball was a founding member of the Screen Actors Guild and served as its president for 2 terms. She was a strong advocate for actors' rights and helped to improve working conditions on television. No. 4. After ILoveLucy, Lucille Ball went on to star in several other successful sitcoms. After ILoveLucy ended, Lucille Ball did not retire. She went on to star in several other successful sitcoms, including The Lucy Show and Here's Lucy. No. 3. The characters of Lucy and Ethel were based on Lucille Ball's real-life friends. Lucille Ball based the characters of Lucy and Ethel on 2 of her real-life friends. One friend was a manicurist who gave Ball ideas for some of Lucy's more physical comedy bits. The other friend was a brunette who worked as a hat check girl. Ball based the character of Ethel on this friend. No. 2. Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball had 2 children together. Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball had 2 children together, a son and a daughter. Desi Arnaz Jr. went on to become an actor, while his sister, Lucy Arnaz, became a singer and actress. And no. 1. Lucille Ball died at the age of 77. Lucille Ball died on April 26, 1989, at the age of 77. She died from a ruptured brain aneurysm. She was survived by her second husband, Gary Morden, and her 2 children. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a thumbs up and click the subscribe button so you can be reminded about all the wonderful stories from Hollywood's golden age. And if you would like to watch more videos like this, you can do so here.